This is Miss Boo.
All I did was glance at her. I'm in deep trouble right now. Sorry if this sounds rambling or incoherent. I'm trying to write this while I still can, because I have this horrible feeling this might be the last thing I ever write. God, it's bad. I can feel it. When I was younger, I used to have these stress dreams, the kind that wake you up in the middle of the night soaked in sweat, shivering, heart pounding like it's trying to escape your chest. And it was always the same nightmare. I was standing on train tracks near my parents' house. It was night. Everything around me completely black. But far ahead of me, I could see two lights in the distance, bright white cones cutting through the darkness, like eyes, watching me. Then the ground would begin to shake beneath my feet. A train was coming, fast, but I couldn't move. My legs wouldn't listen to me. My feet felt nailed to the rails. I tried to run, tried to scream, but nothing happened. And then the horn would blast, loud enough to rattle my bones. And right before the train hit me, I would wake up, knowing I had just died. Right now, I feel exactly like that again, only this time, I'm awake. There's no horn, no shaking ground, but the fear feels exactly the same. This whole mess started with a short trip to Japan. Nothing dramatic, just a small 3-day vacation. I always wanted to visit the temples, the quiet streets, the history everywhere. At first it was beautiful, peaceful even, until the last day. I was packing my things in the little apartment I rented when I noticed something strange, a narrow gap between the dresser and the wall. I must have looked at it 100 times before, but this time, I actually focused on it, and that's when I saw it. An eye, a human eye staring straight back at me from inside that narrow gap. I remember every detail, the brown iris, the dark pupil, the white of the eye catching the light, and then it blinked. My entire body froze. A cold wave ran down my spine, the hair on my neck stood up, my legs started shaking. Before I even realized what I was doing, my hands moved on their own. I grabbed the dresser and pulled. The wood scraped across the floor with a deep groan. Light spilled into the darkness behind it. I expected to see nothing, just the wall, but the shadow didn't disappear because there was no wall. Instead, there was a small dark room behind it, and the thing inside moved away from the light, like the light was dangerous to it. I stood there trying to understand what I was seeing. For a second, I even wondered if I'd been drugged, but before I could finish that thought, a hand shot out from the darkness, thin, pale, almost fragile looking. But when it grabbed my wrist, I felt the strength in it. If it wanted to, it could have torn my arm off. The hand yanked me forward, my head crossed the line between light and shadow, and then I felt a face right next to my ear. Cold breath, pale skin. I couldn't move. I couldn't scream. A woman's voice whispered something in Japanese. I didn't understand the words, but I remember the tone, calm and angry, very angry. Then suddenly the hand released me. I fell backward and the dresser slammed against the wall. The sound echoed in the room, like a coffin closing. I sat there staring at the dresser, trying to breathe. It looked completely normal again, but every time my eyes drifted toward the gap, my whole body started trembling. My guide knocked on the door shortly after, and looking back now, that probably saved my life. I asked him about the sentence the thing whispered. When I told him where I heard it, his face changed instantly. He told me her name is Tsukima Onna, the Gap Woman, and what she told me meant, don't stare at her. According to him, she watches people from narrow spaces, gaps, cracks, shadows between walls, and if she ever catches your gaze again, she becomes angry. He rushed me to the airport and told me I'd be safe once I left Japan. But I think he was wrong, because the moment I returned home, I felt it again. Eyes watching me, from the gap beneath my bathroom door, from the cracks between furniture, from every shadow in the apartment. I tried to sleep, but as I drifted off, I could hear breathing close by, slow, quiet, right next to me. I dreamed about the room behind the dresser again. She was sitting there in the darkness. Only a thin line of light was visible, And then she stood up, slowly pressing her face toward the gap until her eye aligned with it. I could feel her anger. And then I heard her fingernails scraping across the floor as she crawled closer. Scraping, slow, deliberate. That's when I woke up. She's here. Tsukima Onna followed me home. I pushed all my furniture against the walls, blocked the space under my bed, stuffed cardboard under every door. But it doesn't matter, because there are still gaps everywhere. I can feel her watching me right now while I write this, and sooner or later, I'm going to make the mistake of looking. And when that happens, she's going to drag me into the darkness behind the gaps.
If this story gave you chills, don't forget to subscribe, because the next one might be even worse.